So, I mean, if you are either a Flames fan or a Montreal Canadiens fan, you're well aware of the Sean Monahan trade. Now, to me, this is one of my favorite players, maybe my favorite Calgary Flame ever. And I've been watching the team since about 2007, 2008 is when I fell in love with the Calgary Flames. But Sean Monahan just represented everything I loved about the team, and the first real player after the Jerome McGinley era to really kick things off, beacon of hope, set it off. Him and Gaudreau started rolling, and they were stars, and I was in love with Sean Monahan's play for the Calgary Flames and what he represented. I loved it so much, and as a Flames fan, I was upset with what the return was to send him to Montreal because I really didn't think that for 1 year of his $6 million contract, it merited a whole first-round pick to go to Montreal. But the Montreal Canadiens fan in me was like, whoa, Monahan and a first-round pick. And I knew, man, I made a video on it as it came out. I knew Monty would bounce back with the Montreal Canadiens and have a good bounce-back season. And here he is. And recently, as reported on the Montreal Hockey Now website, which I'm not overly surprised, let's be honest, from Frank Saravalli and his new trade target list, Sean Monahan very well might be able to garner another first-round pick on the trade market for the Montreal Canadiens, whether it's with a contender like Tampa or Colorado. Yes, there would have to be probably some retention on Montreal's side, of course, but if they are willing to retain, which why wouldn't you? You only have, 3, 4, 5 months of retention if you're Montreal for Sean Monahan before he becomes a free agent. You could get another first-round pick. Yes, it'd probably be a late one if it was Colorado or Tampa or Florida or something of the like. But, man, would that be worth it. Still a first-round pick. And Ken Hughes recently mentioned that he does want another first-round pick in this 2023 draft because it's so strong. But could you imagine? Because remember, the trade was Monahan and a first-round pick from Calgary to Montreal in exchange for future considerations, aka nothing, diddly squat for Sean Monahan. Could you imagine the Habs get a first-round pick just to take Monahan, and then they're able to flip him at the deadline for another first-rounder? That would be larceny by the Montreal Canadiens. I can barely wrap my head around that, and it would just give even more credence because there's so many Flames fans in my mentions talking to me about how, technically it's basically Monahan and a first for Nazem Kadri because that's the salary room that they did to acquire Kadri. I will take that with me, that I think you could play Sean Monahan and you could have got rid of him for some actual value, be it a second, third round pick, and I do think that giving him away not just for free, but with a first-round pick attached, was a bad move. I will stand by that. And when Sean Monahan, also don't forget that Montreal could just straight up keep him, but if they do decide to ship him off and he gets a first-round pick in return, it's going to look even worse on the Calgary Flames. It's going to be like a real punch in the you-know-whats for the Calgary Flames concerning Sean Monahan and that whole thing. And it just, I'm just so sick of Flames players that I love being shipped away for nothing. Like, it's a good thing Tkachuk ended up getting a pretty decent return, because Gaudreau leaving for nothing and Monahan being shipped away for free, that hurts, man. On top of Jerome McGinley in 2013 being traded for a bag of peanuts to the Pittsburgh Penguins, my heart can't take it anymore, man, seriously. But if Sean Monahan, which, let's be real, he's fourth on the team in scoring. He has got, what is the point total for him right now? He's got quite a few, 5 goals and 9 assists in 21 games with the Habs, fourth in team scoring. He could absolutely, at this pace, did you see him against Chicago the other night? He played an amazing game against the Blackhawks, and the whole season he's just been awesome. I could definitely see this guy fetching a first-round pick. If Nick Paul got the type of return he did to the Tampa Bay Lightning last playoff run, absolutely, I think Sean Monahan could net a first-round pick for a contending team, because a contending team most likely looks at this guy and say, hey, if he's playing like this for Montreal, what could he do for us as our third line center? This could be money for us, and he could really help, even if nothing else, in the face-off circle on a contending team. I could really see him in Colorado really helping insulate a guy like Newhook, for example, who's still super young. I could really see it, and if the Habs end up getting another first rounder for Sean Monahan, I'm going to shake my head here. Seriously. Because, I mean, first of all, I want him to stay with the Habs. I think he's a perfect fit as a veteran to help develop and help mentor the young kids, but he's also not too old where he's going to turn into dust like Joe Thornton or something would. So I don't know. I think they should keep him, but hey, if somebody dangles a first round pick in your face, are you really going to say no? It's going to be extremely difficult to say no as a rebuilding team. So especially in a 2023 draft that's just so stacked like this one. But yeah, that's just my 2 cents on the matter. Of course, I want to hear what you guys think about this. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.